How did we meet? I think our first meeting was a youth club. We were teenagers. I went to go and study, or rather be involved in ballroom dancing after I had tried Sowetan karate. She doesn't know about that one. And you know what I told you now? Yeah. So then I went in to go and Sowetan ballroom dancing. I heard about this youth club, Ebitwang Realika. That's in Rockville. And there's a lady there by the name of Mam Nigat, who's passed on now, who was running this youth club. You know, back then the government used to have these youth clubs wherein there would be events for young people, concentrating on cultural events, arts, sports, and the like, to keep the youth busy. So when I went to go, what year was it? 1975.
No, before 76.
Before 70, yeah, it's about 74, 75, I think. And so when I went to go and learn to ballroom dancing, then they assigned her to be my partner. So she actually taught me ballroom dancing. That was my first time to meet her. But I must be honest, we were just ballroom partners. We danced together. That's about all. I knew her as whoever in the neighborhood. She knew me as whoever. That's when we really first met. And then I became a pastor. Maybe I'll fast forward, cut out all other things. I then became a pastor in 1981 as an associate pastor. And I went to this church in Mavis Isaacson Hall. This church then, when it was called Rhema Church. And then one day I see her there. You know, 1981, I think. What time was it?
1981, yes. So when I went to that church, he's there. As a pastor. But still nothing. But that year, okay, I did it when I was doing, it's grade 11 and grade 12. But I would only come during school holidays because most of the time I was at boarding school. Yeah. Yes.
So after church we met and she went, oh, sir, you know, and I came rude and she called me because we were friends, you know. I still remember that day. To be honest with you, they were just friends. And we remained friends, 80.
Yeah.
We remained friends just.
I think until 84 or so, because I left in 83 for university at University of Sowetan. Nothing even then, but I think along the way, I didn't know that something was brewing in him. To me, it was Mosa.
Yeah, it was Mosa. So I remained a friend from 81 till 84. But I must be honest, in the process, I really fell in love with her, and it was never an intention to fall in love with her, because you know how we did it then. I would visit her Kobona in the presence of the parents.
Actually, it was not visiting, follow up.
No,
man. Spiritual.
Trada, man. That's yeah, man. I was an honest pastor. Yeah, well, I did.
They were friends, and they would come as spiritual growth, and I was enjoying it. Little did I know that
guys, it was genuine. I thought that it was genuine. I was doing God's work here. How?
Okay.
Yeah, but in the process, to be honest, I fell in love with her, and it was quite a good thing because we were very accountable in terms of our relationship. I'd only visit Kobona when the parents are there.
One thing that really attracted me to Bishop, I know many people were more on his looks. He had a big afro and all that. He was very handsome, but I don't think it's he is very
don't know what, guys. But it was very rocky. We won't lie to you. It's very, very difficult. So the formative days were tough. But in terms of our goals and our plans, it's been one of the best things. I think I talk about it. That this lady who is a university graduate who has a degree. When I got married to her, I literally brought her into poverty. Literally. Staying in a garage, in a room, not earning money, no car. I think for me, even in hindsight, it just gave me a level of love and respect for my wife more than anything. Because if somebody loves you when you don't have anything, then they really love you. Can I reduce in 1 year?
Almost 2 years. Towards the second year that we moved here.
So 88
and 89.
and 89
we moved to Lodi.
We moved to Lodi, yeah. We couldn't afford to buy a house for Sowetan. It was too expensive, yeah. We couldn't. Then there was this place called Loli next to Ennerdale, where they were having these houses. 45,000 rands when money was money. 3-bedroom house, and so I think that being parents has been one of the best things for us. Yeah, I mean, just completed the family. It was just incredible.
Yeah, and raising them was a bit of a challenge because we want them to be like ordinary kids. But you know, if ever you are parents and then like Bishop was a pastor then and the church was growing, yeah, it was quite a very vibrant church by then. Children are treated differently. We only knew that as they became teenagers because we now their behavior was starting to change because of the way the people in the church would treat them and so on. As Barnabas Bishop, you know, I mean, you are not supposed to do certain things. A child is a child, will be naughty, do whatever, and things that we didn't know. And I think whatever they were saying to the children was not very kind.
Yeah.
To a point sometimes when they internalize it, their personality changes somehow, but you'd never know and see. And you'd get surprised because they will never express it as to how are they being treated at church and so on. So those were some of the challenges. And I think this is a pressure that is put on pastors' kids sometimes. And we only become aware when their life changes.
And the damage is done by them. Because the people were not kind to them.
Yeah.
They were just not kind. On a family level, however, we try to keep a normal life. We've never ever pressurized our children about ministry, being pastors. Actually, we followed their path. They were very sporty children. And they played soccer, tennis. You know, I remember the tennis era was one of the most difficult because we had to take them for lessons. They had to join a club, and tennis being white, come among these white kids, taking them to tournaments.
Yeah.
You remember the December ones?
Yes, and it was sad when it comes to tournaments because I think in sports you'd understand why our children, even if they are good, they are always called developmental. Because once you reach a certain level, if there are no finances to support you in sports, they can't make it. And that's the challenge because you are limited even as a parent, you know. Unfortunately, as you know, it's only those who have money who will make the rules.
Tennis is a very expensive sport.
And tennis is expensive. You know, sports is a bit cruel in South Africa. How I wish it could change, because the sad thing is this: if they are good, they give them someone very strong so that they don't win the main tournament. Yes, they will just help others to go a certain level, but once they realize it's semi-finals, quarter-finals, they give you someone who will just knock you out before you go anywhere, and someone out of your range. And that's where the problem is, the politics of our country.
And this is one of the things I think when we speak to younger parents, we say, look, get the kids into these sporting codes. And give them the support, because some of these sporting codes, your tennis, your golf, some of these white sports, they are very, very discriminatory. In spite of what they're saying, we know the inside story. So, but we try to keep that normal life. You know, we'd go on holidays, December, we public holidays, we have something. I mean, even now, public holidays together. We try to give them a normal life. As best as we can, but you know, children are children. They make their own choices in a way. But we did our best. We think so. No, at every stage, the growth of a church, there's always an area that Rona as senior leaders need to focus on. You know, Kerekarna is no longer the same church, you know, and the areas of our responsibilities are different now. And as long as Rona at this stage, we are focusing on investing in younger leaders. I mean, it's priority number one, right at the top. Spending time with them, helping them lead churches. We're training them around the country. We're doing all of that. The second thing is that there's lessons we've learned about ministry, that the things that work, the things that don't work. You know, moving forward, we are putting our energy in things that work, things that produce good results, you know. And thirdly, because we are parents and grandparents, we've really realized our role is making others great, helping others, being there to help people in their marriages, in ministry, in rearing children. We've had a lot of problems, good times, challenging times, that we can help couples when they reach that stage and they think everything is pelile. We say, no, guys, I mean, you know, so we really are investing in other people now.
Yeah, I think that also the other thing added to this is learning to be content in ministry.
Yes.
You know, we all are gifted differently, and we need to recognize each other's gifts, because I think sometimes we compete with our strengths, and sometimes we become very selfish. But when you're a content person, I mean, to be honest with you, most of Grace Bible Church members, they even grew economically over and
Yes.
above us.
Yeah.
Some are more educated from the lessons that they're picking up, being disciplined, understanding certain things. And honestly speaking, it was not like it should be for us as a family first, but to us it's a joy when we see them prosper. To us it's a joy when we see them growing, actualizing themselves, finding purpose and meaning, using the word of God and so on, because it says we are fulfilling purpose. We may not be where they are economically or professionally, but truth is what God has called us to do, because we are faithful in that. We see others, we create a platform for others to shine on those platforms. And this is one thing that is very fulfilling when it comes to ministry.
We believe that's what God has called us. We think being a blessing to others is a higher calling. So about the next 40 years, we're in the giving phase of our life. We are giving of ourselves, time, our hearts, our prayer, our lessons, open book. We're very real. You know, our relationship we love one another deeply. But you may not see me, people may not know that, but we are very much in love with each other. And we've grown to embrace these different personalities and to thrive off our uniqueness. There's things, I mean, you won't believe. Go high. Mama kena charanchelet. Go high. Kena charanchelet. So, yeah, I keep like a chelet, take him off your wife. So, Naki cry pocket money, the rest she handles. We're at peace. We are alone. She does the gardening. Now, sometimes I do the cooking. We're at peace.
Actually, when it comes to home, I can do cleaning and everything.
Yeah.
But don't give me a sick child.
Sick
Don't
children.
have to do it.
I'm the doctor in the home. I take them to hospital. So we are very comfortable with that. But you see, when people are watching us going, how can you do that? Okay, Bishop. You know, they are asking, but we're not asking. And that doesn't mean I don't do gardening, but she loves it more than I do. You know, so we are very comfortable. For instance, if we want to go on a holiday, she likes these rough ones. Going up for these, whatever. Oh, forgive. I've adjusted to going there, but I say somehow, please just give me a quiet one for instance. So I think we didn't try to change each other. That's what you do in the early days, Salenyalo. We've embraced each other, and we've realized that there is a place for my strengths. There's a place for her strengths. And that's why we were attracted to each other. because none of us is complete by themselves. And even more kerekeng, there's things Mama does more kerekeng, that's her strength. You know, sometimes one says she knows people more than I do. I introduce her to people later on, and she's fine with that. Hi, Marawena. No, she's fine with that. But there's things that I do as well. You know, so I think at this stage of our lives, I must tell you, we are very much at peace to be who we are in God, and to the team we are. I think our appreciation level of each other is just 100 notches up, because we realize it's great we didn't try to conform, we were honest to each other. I didn't try to, as much as you change in the wrong, but you don't change in your strengths. And we didn't try to pretend, you know, we never pretended. We were as honest as they come. But it's made for a good well, blush. She's very jovial. Mama is just fun. She plays around. Actually, there's a picture we have, kaya honeymoon ya rona, where at Unakwala Diketin and she was dancing for me. I have that picture. You remember that picture? I still have that picture. Yeah, she's a very fun person to be with.
Yeah, I think I enjoy real life, if I may put it like that, whereby I still remember one day we went for a holiday. Bishop.
But you
don't like struggles that much. I went into a taxi with him, and from Zambia to Katima Mulilo, and it was not fun because people were coming there with cases of beer. It's like it was a fun trip, to a point that we even got to be late to cross the border. We had to look for accommodation in Zambia, and I'm telling you, the hotel that we found there was terrible. Actually, we slept sitting on chairs.
It was terrible.
Like, okay, yeah.
So we've had a lot of fun. And then the one time we traveled to Nerea, Mozambique, and we didn't know, because it was December time, but all kinds of things for Koloyaro, what. So we decided, no, we'll leave the car at the border, Rekenda mo taxi. Goodness, that
and it was Christmas time.
Oh, no. It was terrible.
You know, sometimes I think you realize that a protected life where you are in your car and so on, you really don't understand real life until you, and that's where I want to be. I'm sometimes just sneak into a taxi, go wherever, and I have fun.
So as a result, when we travel now, we don't ever use Rekenamo taxi mo busing. When we anywhere in the world, we'll use public transport, and everything, and it's really good. In fact, we come and tell the locals, for if you want to go shopping and so, this is how you get there. They don't believe us. They don't believe us, you know. So we really have a lot of fun when we travel. It's very nice.
I think we like adventure and outdoor life, and so that's fun for me.
Yeah. Sure.
So much family, Papa.
Sure. Blessings. Thanks for the interview, Ms.